You like chicken tenders, and I'm just talking about the basic store-bought ones. You know, they're decent, and you want to up your game. This comes to us from a company called Killer Grillers. This is 5 pounds of the juiciest, most flavorful. I mean, there's a company here in Florida that makes a great chicken sandwich. We all know who it is.
Yes.
I've tasted these before the show. They're great. These are great too. These are crazy good.
I'm trying to think of the word.
More flavor.
These taste unlike any chicken tender I have ever tasted.
Ever.
And it has to do with the seasoning. We all know Killer Grillers. They are giving us their special rubs. They are giving us their special, low and slow grilling. These chicken tenders are all white meat. Look at them. So this is how they come and they look. So each one nice and large and a really great size. And then when you cut them open, we're talking all meat in there and all white meat, which I really, really love, right?
Yeah.
So do you want to get in there? You're acting like you're like, I want to taste one. Grab one.
I'm gonna grab this guy right here.
And listen, 5 pounds is a lot of chicken tenders.
I'll show you. So there's one right there.
Look at that.
See how perfect that is?
Perfect.
And the chicken is juicy inside. All right, I'm going in.
Okay.
Wow.
So tell me what's going on, because I was in the kitchen before the show and I took a bite of another one, and we have a beautiful food stylist, Tracy, who was helping us. And I went, that is so interesting. And Tracy goes, what? And I go, every time I bite into these, I just think it's so interesting because there is a lot going on in there. I even had to write it all down. The seasoning so it's a maple bourbon seasoning. So it's got the maple, it's got the bourbon, but that's not where it stops. There's cumin in there, there's cayenne in there, there's chili in there.
There's a little spice. Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah. I would buffalo these too in a second. Yeah, I saw you did it.
It's gonna be perfect if you buffalo them.
Let me show you what you're gonna get.
Okay.
It is a giant.
Look at the bag.
Bag. I'll hold it out so you can sort of see it. It is a giant bag of tenders. Have you ever shopped for tenders? Right? You buy a bag of tenders and there's like 7 tenders in it.
That's right.
Or 8 or 9.
That's right.
And you spend, and by the way, $12, $13 for those. They're expensive.
Absolutely.
All right? We are giving you 5 pounds, all meat, all white meat, all ready to go. Pop them in the air fryer, right? Add your favorite sauce. They're not, I wouldn't call them sweet.
No.
I don't think at all. They have kind of it's a sweet and salt.
Okay, but look here first. Come here and just go, and you smell it. You smell the maple, you smell the bourbon. It's so different.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
You know what it reminds me of? There was a really good chicken chain years ago, and you'd walk into when you walked in, that was the smell. It was like all kinds of spices, and you knew something was cooking. But you know, here's the problem. You buy a regular bag of chicken tenders, you better look at what it says on there, because there's so much stuff they put in there, and you don't even know if it's all white meat.
Right. I'm gonna make me a sub. Here in Florida, we have a grocery store chain that makes these unbelievable chicken tender subs.
We started with $3.50. I have $2.60 left.
Oh,
they are going really fast. And by the way, since we're talking about white meat chicken, we're also not talking about any of those little nasty chewy bits.
Let's talk about that, right? Because how horrible is that? Now, this piece is a good example because look, from end to end, we are talking about everything's edible. And you are absolutely right. And watch as I cut into it, beautifully, perfectly breaded, not overly breaded. I've also gotten them where they're overly breaded, so it's all breading that you're eating. This is perfectly breaded. Again, you can almost see it's kind of got this kind of orangey color. That's the seasoning. So again, we're talking about, black pepper. Paprika, cayenne.
Oh my gosh.
I listed it all here because I was like, oh my gosh, this is a ton of
spices.
Here it is.
Salt, garlic, bourbon, black pepper, oregano, garlic,
cumin.
A little bit of cayenne. But here's what I'll tell you, because I know my customers, not spicy at all.
No.
Like my mom, who didn't like spice, would love these. She'd be like, oh my gosh, these taste like, she'd think they tasted like the Colonel back in the day.
Right.
Remember, that was the only chicken we used to get.
Do you know, and how things have changed, and just like how things would be so fresh, and it would taste like, this is so fresh. This tastes like you just made them, like you just coated them yourself and pulled them out. What do you think?
Really love it.
Like that little bit of sweetness, but not too much, and not spicy, but yet seasoned, right? That's why I like to say it's seasoned, but it's not spicy. So the difference in having flavor or being too spicy is big.
And they're juicy.
Oh, yeah.
You see, we used plump chicken tenderloins, right? We didn't use the ones that have that little bit of gristle in them.
Yep.
All right? So you're not gonna bite in and feel like a pull. It is clean every time.
Look at that.
Man, it's gonna cost me a fortune today. I'm buying everything.
These are great.
These are go-to.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's been a long day. You just need something you can throw in really quickly. This would be great in your air fryer. This would be great if you want to just pan fry them. If you wanted, there's so many different ways you could do this. Pop it in. Here, look, we did our mac and cheese. We popped them in with our mac and cheese, which we're going to talk about in a second here. We've done so many great ideas. These are great on salads. I know it's hot out there right now for a lot of you guys across the country.
Yeah.
So pop some of these just right on top of some lettuce, and that's a great idea. I love that we did this.
On a pizza. Carrie, let me ask you this. How do they come frozen?
Yes, they come frozen.
Already cooked.
That's right.
So all you have to do is
heat and eat.
Heat and eat. And if you love, we have a grocery store chain here called Publix.
Yep.
And they are very famous for the subs.
Yep.
And everybody will be like, all you hear is, where you going? I'm going to get a pub sub.
Yep.
And their most popular sub is always their chicken tender buffalo.
That's right.
It's always, you can make this yourself. In fact, the seasoning that's on the chicken already almost lends itself to like a good buffalo sauce. Or you could do, if you like your favorite, traditional barbecue, you could do sweet and sour.
Oh, yeah.
Honey mustard would be fantastic with this.
Now look, I want to show you this because I want you to see something.
Look at the size of these.
They're all different. This is not like a factory that's popping out chicken tenders.
Pressed.
They're not pressed.
Preformed.
That's right. We are taking these from real chicken, and we are giving you these amazing tenders, again, perfectly breaded, and you see the coloration on them. You see the spices. So we were talking about the oregano, the cumin. We're talking about a little bit of cayenne just for a little spice.
Yeah.
But again, giving you a taste profile that is neither too sweet nor too spicy. It's like I feel like that the child story. It's just perfect.
Look at this. Now this has been frozen and reheated. And if you can get a close-up of my hand, I just cut one right here.
Yeah.
We'll get a tight shot of this chicken right here. And we'll wait a sec. I want you to see something. Look at this.
Squeeze it.
Guys.
Look at that chicken.
That is moist chicken, all right? And Andre, my producer, was talking about the breading, and you can come back on the shot. It's the perfect seasoning. Like a lot of times you get tenders, they don't taste like nothing. Or you get them and they're too salty.
Yes.
These are the perfect, like if I was gonna season a potato chip, this is what I would want on it.
That's a good,
You know what I'm saying,
that's delicious.
Yeah.
And again, also.
It's not over-breaded.
Not over-breaded.
Right.
Yeah, because there's been a ton of times I bite into it and I'm like, where's the chicken? You know what I mean? Where's the meat? So this has a generous amount of meat. Please remember, if you've not been introduced to us, we're Killer Grillers. This is Brian Teeters and JB Smith out of Memphis, Tennessee, giving you the boys.
My boy, Mr. Teeters.
We love them.
Look at that buffalo. We added the buffalo sauce. How good is that? That's how I like my buffalo chicken to look.
That's easy. You just add a little sauce.
I'm buying it today.
And here we've actually shown, like, if you're going to be having people over, like maybe you're doing the barbecue or you're doing the, watching a game or you're doing all kinds of cool stuff. This is the 5 pounds on a platter. This is a very huge platter, by the way, with some sauces.
I was just thinking, like, I might get a couple orders because you know who would love these? My son. He is a chicken tender freak.
Oh my goodness.
And his girlfriend Lily, because they just moved into an apartment. So, and they get home. She's a nurse.
Easy.
She gets home at 8 o'clock at night. He gets home at 5.
Pull it out.
Pull it
heat
out.
it up.
Make some veggies with it. I mean, you can eat a protein meal because it's not over-breaded.
Right.
All right? That's one of the things I really love about these chicken tenders. A lot of times you get a tender and there's all these bits and pieces in there of just breading.
Yep.
Because they put so much breading. These are very light and very satisfying. And they're thicker than the regular tenders because the skinny ones always seem to kind of fry down. All the cooking is done. Just heat them up. I love them. This is a good idea with the pickles.
I think it's really in right now to do some really like gourmet and different kinds of pizzas. So we did like a barbecue chicken tender pizza for you. But here, look, as I was cutting this one, the skin fell off, and I love that you showed that. So I'm going to show it one more time. Look at this. The skin fell off so that you can see. Look how juicy this chicken is. If we just tear it apart, I mean, look at that. It is coming white meat. This is the best part of the chicken. We're talking about. Look at this. nice and thick, nice and full. You're not getting cheated out of chicken. You're not getting cheated out of the breading. And you're not getting cheated out of the seasoning. So again, Killer Grillers, we want to make sure that everything we do for you is helping make it easy for you. We want to take the hard work out of dinner, and so we are giving you this to you in that bag, resealable, so you can just grab and go, heat and eat. It's done for you.
And if you've ever looked at a bag of nuggets, if that's what you're giving your kids or grandkids, probably one of the worst things you can give them. Heavy, heavy deep fry, heavy, heavy coating. What they do is they take chicken parts and they press them together and make little cute little things. And then they bread the you-know-what out of them. And there's not really much nutrition. This is better to chicken to start with. The little marinade gives it incredible flavor, very lightly seasoned on the outside. So if you want to make like a chicken tender sub, or if you want to make a chicken tender Caesar, which I love.
Perfect.
Caesar salad,
Delicious.
right? In fact, that Andre hit it on the head. He said, the seasoning is perfect to go with other things. So if you wanted it in a Caesar salad, that's the spice you would want.
Yes, it's going to bring that out.
If you wanted it on a sandwich, that's what you would want, right?
Yeah, let's do
You
that
can
again.
even cut it up and do it in a stir fry.
Look at that.
Cook your broccoli, cook your snap peas, put some scallions, and then just cut up some chicken and throw it there at the end. You're done.
Easy, easy. And here we just placed it on our subs. So we've got our pickles, we've got our tomatoes, we've got all our little hoagie rolls here. Delicious. People line up down the street to get these down here in Florida at our Publixes. So I love that you can make these because you have this. And to your point, it makes it easy to be creative because you don't have to worry about cooking the chicken from the start. You just grab and go.
Hey,
I would throw these in my air fryer. You can bake them.
Yeah. How many left, Andre, in regular ship? Couple hundred? 190 orders. Make that 189 because I will buy some when I get it. Actually, it might be 188 because I probably should get some for Dan too.
That would be smart.
All right, and only 100 left in auto ship if you want to get these delivered, every 30, 60, 90 days. All right. Carrie Mileto?
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere?
Yep.
Let's bring some of those tenders over with us because we're going to be talking about mac and cheese.
You got it. I'm popping them on the plate. Here we go.
I don't know how many of you out there are connoisseurs of macaroni and cheese.